Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Nhl Dfs slate for Tuesday, April 18th. We got ourselves another 4-game slate here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up the video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals, where you can see 2 of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6 goals even, 2 games coming in at 5.5 goals. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see the Avalanche, Maple Leafs, Golden Knights, and Devils are all favored to win here tonight. And then here's a schedule update. Again, gonna have an Nhl Dfs video coming out for you guys today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, breaking down each one of those 4-game slates. And then we got episode 2 of Mulligan Masters coming out this weekend. It's tentatively scheduled for Sunday, but we very well could publish it on Saturday. That's to be determined, but episode 2 will for sure be out this weekend. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We got Matthews centering Bunting and Marner, playing the Tampa Bay Lightning in round 1 here, a rematch from last year, and I'm really hoping that this first line can get off to a good start just like they did last year. In game 1, they had 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Now, obviously, completely different teams, and I understand that. I don't want to look back to last year's playoffs. However, this Tampa Bay Lightning team really struggled over the last month of the regular season, just going 7-8-0, and this Lightning team is not afraid to take penalties either, having averaged the 6th most in the NHL during the regular season. That bodes well for this Toronto Maple Leafs team, which had the 2nd best power play in the NHL this year, and you'll see Matthews and Marner play up on the number 1 power play, Bunting plays down on the 2nd. And then another line stack that I like building around here tonight is that first line for the Vegas Golden Knights. We got Eichel centering Barbashev and Marchessault. Really surprised at how affordable this first line was, but I'll definitely take advantage of it. Honestly, I don't mind the 2nd or 3rd line either. I kind of talk about the 3rd line in the low-priced options with Chandler Stevenson, but you got Mark Stone coming back tonight playing on that 3rd line. Both those guys on the number 1 power play. Griff, we're focusing in on the first line here, and I do like it for sure, especially with Eichel and Marchessault playing up on the number 1 power play. I honestly wouldn't mind pivoting off of Barbashev here and doing a 3-man stack with Eichel, Marchessault, and Shea Theodore all on that number 1 power play, but it's also kind of easy to justify Barbashev here at this price of $3,600, and I like the matchup at home here tonight against the Winnipeg Jets, another team that really struggled over the last month of the regular season, just going 8-7-0. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Don't forget, I am running that Discord channel too, and if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Not only do we have a great group of people in there talking hockey and prize picks, I'm also doing an NHL jersey giveaway in there right now too. If you want to get in on that giveaway, you gotta join the Discord. I put all of the rules inside of there, so again, to do that, link in the description below. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. Want to highlight the Rangers together here with Zibanejad and Kreider. Really what I'm going for here is the experience that the Rangers have. The Devils are favored to win here tonight at -130, playing at home, but the Rangers are basically just going across the street to play these guys, so I'm really not concerned about the travel in this series. But I do like the upside that Zibanejad and Kreider offer, not only on that first line and number 1 power play, but again, the experience that these two have together in the playoffs really stuck out to me in this series. And for what it's worth, they're relatively affordable as well, considering the upside that they offer. I do believe this is going to be a tight series here, but I do lean towards the Rangers here in game 1. And then I'm going to highlight 2 of these Avalanche players together as well, Valeri Nichushkin and Arturi Lehkonen. Both these guys playing on the 2nd line together. Now, Nichushkin's going to play up on the number 1 power play. Looks like Lehkonen is down on the 2nd. Very well could change throughout this series, but Lehkonen did just return from injury, so it makes sense to kind of work him back into the special teams. Very affordable here at $5,200. Same with Val there at $6,200. Again, these guys could definitely be more expensive. In a good home matchup matchup against the Seattle Kraken, and I kind of like pivoting off of that first line of McKinnon and Rantanen to this second line here with Nichushkin and Lehkonen, because Mac and Mikko are likely going to be very popular targets tonight and likely popular targets in this series overall. That's not to say I'm afraid to play those guys. We know the upside that they offer, but Lehkonen and Nichushkin are very capable of having multiple point nights themselves and hitting 3, 4, even 5x value. And then I got Alex Killorn there in the 4K range, and I actually just want to type this out as well. Ryan O'Reilly at $4,400 is by all means in play, especially considering he's up on the #1 power play right now, playing on that second line with Tavares and Nylander. Being that I highlighted this line earlier, I didn't put him on the spreadsheet, but definitely worth noting. Same thing here with Alex Killorn, definitely worth noting on that second line in #1 power play. Played some solid hockey to wrap up the regular season. Not a guy who's a huge volume shooter, as you can see there, but he did have 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in his last 10 games, with 3 of those points coming on the power play. Now, folks, before we move over to the defensemen here, just want to remind you that we just put out a new series here on the GriffDogg channel called Mulligan Masters, something I'm going to be adding here going forward, especially with hockey starting to wrap up, football still a few months away. I wanted to have something that we could do throughout the summer. I got 2 really good buddies that I'm doing this with, hoping to get a third buddy in on this as well. We have a lot of fun making these videos, and if you could go show some love here on the video, I would greatly appreciate that. Toss it a like, leave a comment, and let us know what you think about this series in general. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, and I do want to start by mentioning that I would have no problem spending up for Makar of the Avalanche, Pietrangelo of the Vegas Golden Knights, and Hamilton of the Devils. We know the upside that those guys offer, but I believe most of the value at this position lies within the 3 to 5K range here tonight. And yes, I do have 2 New York Rangers defensemen listed on the spreadsheet, not typically something that I do, but I think these guys both offer solid value at their prices. Now, Fox offers a higher ceiling in my opinion, and I'd want to play him with guys on that #1 power play like Zibanejad and like Chris Kreider. Trouba plays on the #2 power play, but he's a lot more well-rounded defenseman. Doesn't have the same ceiling as Adam Fox, but does provide a very safe floor, more nights than not. Again, a very well-rounded defenseman who can get on the score sheet, not afraid to shoot the puck every now and then, and he's definitely not afraid to block shots, especially once the playoffs are here. He's definitely someone who could get you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by blocking 3 shots in a game. And then Shea Theodore there, definitely want to play him with forwards like Eichel and Marchessault on that #1 power play, as I mentioned earlier, and a solid matchup at home against the Winnipeg Jets. And then I couldn't put my finger on one guy here in the 3K range. I think there is some decent value here though, and I listed those as honorable mentions. And then I got a couple of goaltenders there for you, a little higher priced and mid-priced option. First, Alexander Georgiev of the Colorado Avalanche. Avs heavily favored to win at home tonight, sitting on a money line of -200, and he was solid to wrap up the regular season, going 8-1-1 in his last 10 games, with a goals allowed average of 2.37 and a save percentage of .914. Those numbers could definitely be a little bit better, but he was also averaging 15 DraftKings points per game, and definitely someone who could hit 3 or 4x value at that price. And then Igor Shesterkin here at $7,600 was absolutely fantastic in his last 15 games, going 11-3-1 with a goals allowed average of 1.98, save percentage of .934, fantastic numbers there. Playing very much like he did last year when he won the Vezina Trophy, so I will take advantage of that even though the Devils are favored at -130. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy got there is Jaden Schwartz of the Seattle Kraken. Plays on the second line, and if you look on paper, technically plays on the #2 power play, but I was looking at both of the Kraken power plays from practice yesterday. I'd consider the one he's on the #1 power play, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Either way, does get time on the special teams. He had 21 goals, 19 assists, 40 points in 71 games this year, averaging over a half point per game, and played very well against the Colorado Avalanche during the regular season with 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 2 games. Next is Chandler Stevenson of the Vegas Golden Knights. Name dropped him earlier, currently playing on that third line and #1 power play. Played well to wrap up the regular season himself with 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points, averaging close to 11.5 DraftKings points per game. And as I mentioned earlier too, I don't mind a little mini stack with him and Mark Stone, both playing on that third line in number 1 power play. And then Erik Haula there of the New Jersey Devils plays on that third line in number 2 power play. He also played well to wrap up the regular season with 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points in his last 7 games, hitting 16 plus DraftKings points in 4 of those games. And then to wrap up this video here, I want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. For starters, if you have not signed up for prize picks yet and you want to get in on this playoff action, hell, any of these action, you can play any one of these games here. You don't have to just stick to hockey, but if you do want to get in on the playoff action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of when you're signing up. When you sign up, use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, and PrizePicks is going to give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. You do not have to put $100 in either. If you want to put in 50, they'll match that 50. You want to put in 20, they'll match that 20 as well. Again, they'll match anything up to $100 as long as you use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Now, for those of you who are already on PrizePicks, you know the plan of attack here. Got to do my research today and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. And don't forget, I post all my picks in the Discord channel too if you want to join that. There's a link to do so in the description below. Not only do I post my picks in there, but we got a great group of people in there posting their own picks. If anywhere from MLB to soccer, hockey, obviously. Again, just a really good group of people in the Discord, so join it. Link in the description below. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 4-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.